Sharing my screen. Yes. So what I wanted to say was, yeah, Turbo Pack is nothing but like the thing which will be helpful during production, Imani. So
Okay.
while doing the production, that is the deployment. So yeah, if we deploy a whole project and if we change something and again deploy it, only the part which we change is bundled, so it is for the to improve the performance during the production. That's it. So it
Okay.
doesn't affect
Okay.
the whole web
Mm.
application, but while deploying in the production, so it will be a bit helpful. It improves the performance. That's it.
Performance. Okay.
So it doesn't do all the work from the starting. It will
Mm.
bundle only the required packages, I would say, like what are the changes we need, it will do. So it can
Mm.
take care of all this.
Okay.
So, yes. So, nothing to worry about, like whether it affects the functionality or not. That does it.
Mm.
So, I think this is the studio. Where is this?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the studio we have got. So, this is the output. Minute. Guys can see only the black screen, right?
Yes. Browser screen is visible, but not VS Code. Now it's visible.
So coming to the Sanity, the library, coming to the environment local, I think there's. So we have declared the connection next public sanity, and I think it is automatically created. So this ID is nothing but our project ID, which is provided in the Sanity Studio. So if you go to our project, so this is the project ID. And while we were creating the installing the studios and creating the connection, so it is automatically created. And Sanity dataset, I think we have selected it as production. So
Mm.
while deploying, the Sanity also needs to know the Sanity Studio cannot read this next public Sanity. This line, the Sanity Studio cannot read it. So what we need to do, we have to give Sanity the kind of variable which it can read. So it is nothing but, so Sanity, sorry, Sanity Studio project. The ID should be the same. The again we have to give it the Sanity Studio data set. So why we are repeating the same? This next can read, next public Sanity, it can read, and it knows that it is the connection for the Sanity. But while deploying, the Sanity also needs to know the ID so that it connect with the Next.js. To connect with the Next.js application, we have to give Sanity this ID and the data set. So that this is for the understanding for the Next.js, and this is for the understanding for the Sanity. But both does the similar work, but the mainly why we are declaring it separately is for this is for the Sanity Studio, this is for the Sanity, that is the Next.js project ID. So this one we
Okay.
have to make. So let's
Okay. You mean when we write for Studio, so Studio recognize the Sanity project ID and Sanity dataset. Otherwise,
yes,
it doesn't.
it
Okay.
it takes the this thing, this next public Sanity. So for the
Okay.
Sanity Studio we are declaring it again, but the variable this variable Sanity can understand. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to the Sanity Studio. Maybe I can this is for the Sanity Studio to read. We can understand later.
Right now, I did the same, but I am getting an error. Like an error occurred that Sanity Studio was unable to. Project ID can only contain A to Z, 0 to 9, and dashes.
Okay. So
Mm,
you
yeah.
it is showing some error here.
Yes.
So
And
did you give us the same Sanity Studio project ID, the same project ID and the Sanity Studio dataset?
yes, I think.
Did you connect it with the
Mm,
Sanity here? So like your application is up.
For me also it's showing error kitna. Like
same.
data set
Minute.
we contain lowercase characters, numbers, something.
You can share your screen. Anyone can share your screen.
Renuka, are you sharing or?
Only contain lowercase number.
Okay. Okay. Actually, now it is visible for me. What happened when I write the comments now? Then it is not considering. So
Okay.
when I remove the comment, then it is taking.
Okay.
Okay.
Better remove the comments. Try to remove the comments.
But for you, it is not showing why.
No, I have
It's
removed the
taking
comments.
comments.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
for me also it is showing the same. Yeah. I have to remove the comment. Yes, since it is
Okay.
the environmental variable, I think
Hmm.
we have to give the comments with hash, I think.
Hash. Okay.
I think that's
Yes,
yes.
kitna is hash.
Yes, it's hash. Since it is the environment file.
Hash. How many? Single hash.
Single hash.
Yes.
Okay. I'll try.
Now it will be working fine. I'll share my screen. So can you see this single hash?
Yes.
So yeah. Please remember that while editing this environment variable and this I think configuration file can accept the comment, but mainly the environment file, we have to include our comments using hash only.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
So let's go to our project. So here post, let's click on post. Click one category, there are. So these are the example schema. So the schema which we have selected, right? Blog. So it simply gives the schema that is the post, category, and authors are the schema provided by the blog. So just to test the things, let's go to the post. Let's create a new post. Just to test the sanity works or not. Click this one. There is something check console for errors. There is one error. Okay. So the post, let's give the title as test and create a dummy slug. I'll explain all these later, but just now. So to create the author, you have to create the author inline. So let's click on the create button. So I'm giving my name here. So this slug also I'm giving my name. Okay, you can also upload the image. So maybe in the bio, I can give test bio, something like this. So what I will do, so I'll publish this author. So here the author has been given. So you can also upload image, alternative text for it, and categories.
Kirtana, I have missed this part. Can you explain this one again? Just you have to click plus icon to create the author.
Just you have to click the plus icon. Then you will see the post, this post thing. So you have to give the title slug, and for the author you'll be having a create button. If you click the create button, you'll be seeing this part, that is the name slug image. In the name I'm giving my name, the slug also I'm giving my name, and bio I have given some simple bio and clicked on publish. So here you can see the author details here. So this is what I have did, but till now. So here I'm giving just a body. For example, hello world. So I simply created the post and created the author, and I have published the author, and the author has been displayed here, and other than that I'm giving some body here. So let's publish this as well. Let's go and check whether it is published correctly. Let's close this. Yeah, I can see our post is being published. So the test post has been published. So it is understood that our sanity is working fine. So yes, it is published 1 minute ago. So this schema has post, categories, and authors, but since we are using, I'll open the Miro board. So no. So basically the block schema um, has post. So it is obvious, right? The schema is based on the block. What does the block contains? The block contains post and categories for the post and the author, like the who has written the blog. So, but since we are doing the um, e-commerce application, so our schema should be like this, something like this, e-commerce. So it should have um, categories and what else? Orders, products, and sale. So this should be our schema. Schema is nothing but the structure. So what is the data? What data should be stored in the sanity? So those kind, that is the structure. So our structure should have categories. So orders and then products and then sale and then sale. So so this should be our schema. So we need to change our block schema into this kind of thing, like categories, orders, products, and sales. We will do that. But before that, let's go to our code. So what we have done till now. So we have tested the sanity. We have set up the Sanity Studio. Now, what we have to do next is we have to set up the clerk for the authentication. Setup for so this setups will take time. So once we finish the setup, then we can continue with the code. So it will be very easy. So let's set up the clerk. Let's go back to our clerk. So I go to the dashboard. So here, likewise, which we what we did for sanity, we are going to do the same. It is giving instruction. Our clerk workspace name is e-commerce app, which we have given. So under this, you'll be having the instructions, that is the npm install and the instruction to set up the clerk APIs and update the middleware and add ClerkProvider to your app, everything. So we will do this one by one. Let's go to our code. Let's split the terminal. So let's open the new. Let's copy this thing. npm install clerk Nextjs. Let me go here. So it is into the e-commerce application. Let me do command npm install Next.js. So it will start installing the Clerk for Next.js. Let it install. So yes, so it is being installed. Okay. So we have installed the Clerk Next.js. Then what is the next step is I need to copy this variable. Let me copy it. It is copied. Let's go back to the code to my env. So let me just paste it here. Then so what is the next step? Update your middleware file or create one at the root of your project. So if we don't have any middleware, so we have to create a middleware.ts in our root, and then we have to simply copy and paste this. That is the step, and it is pretty straightforward. So we can go to our code. I think we don't have middleware. So let's create, I'm going to minimize this. Inside the application, new file. It is set middleware.ts. The file create. It is taking time for me. I don't know. I have my system is very slow, so you guys can just create and you can just simply paste the content over there.
Okay.
An issue with my VS Code. So I'll just copy this middleware.ts content and I'll just paste it here. Save. So what is the next step? So we have to add the ClerkProvider to our app. So So let's go to the layout.tsx. So what it is said, we have to the clerk provider component provides clerk authentication content is required to wrap your entire app at the entry point. So we need to just simply wrap with the clerk provider. What we need to do. So let's go here. It is said that we need to wrap our entire application inside the clerk provider. So let's simply say clerk provider. And I'm just closing it here. We need to saving it.
Ketan, for me, it is saying clerk provider is not defined. So we have to import it.
Yes, we need to import it. So
Okay.
my system is very, very slow. I need to fix this up.
Okay, the same clerk provider. All things that mentioned in the documentation, clerk provider sign in button, sign up button.
No. Sign in, sign up doesn't need, just
Okay,
only the clerk provider.
clerk provider. Okay.
Just if you hover over it, just
Yeah, done.
okay. Let's copy this. Only the clerk provider. So I'll remove the sign in, sign up. So I'll just save this. So we have set up all these. So what I want to do now is just go to the localhost 3000 and check whether it is running properly. So if we did any mistake, it won't be running. So just simply check whether our localhost is showing hello world or not. So if it is showing
Yes.
hello
Yes.
world, it is proved that like our configuration, all the dependencies, everything is working perfectly. Mm. Minute. Just try to change the content. So something like this. Hello world 123. Try to check whether it is updating or not. So did you guys get hello world and try to change the content, and is it
Yes.
perfect?
Yes,
So
Kirtan. I think for you it is
so
loading still.
yeah, so my system is very
Mm,
low, it's very slow, and yeah, since I have so much things installed in my laptop, I think I need to
okay.
manage something. Yeah, it's very, very slow. So yes, we have done setting up the Sanity Studio and setting up the clerk authentication. So initial setup is done now. So and we have tested everything, everything was fine. So what we have to do is we have to start coding.
Okay.
Let's go to the code. So what we have now, let's go to the layout.tsx. So if you see here, uh, clerk provider wraps up the entire content. So whatever we do inside our application, so whatever the application that does, it is provider, that is the provider is wrapped around it. So what it usually does is it may slow down the applications performance. So if we wrap up our entire content with a provider, it usually slow down the application working, because we are adding an extra step, that is everything what we are doing inside does go inside the provider, and the provider will process, and it will take some time. So to avoid, so we need an optimal solution. So our aim is not only to create an application, we have to optimize and make sure it gives the best performance. So for that, there is one more step which we have to do. So I'll say that. Oh, what- So there are a concept called group level syntax. It separates the top level content, that is the content from the clerk provider and the HTML. So the not all the content goes to the clerk provider approval and then comes back. So we will separate which needs to be handled by the clerk provider and which needs to be handled without the clerk provider. So there is a special concept called group level syntax. So we will do that now. So what I will do, let's go to the app folder. Let's create a new folder with the, let's create a new folder, simply the parenthesis.
The curly braces or the circle one?
Circle one.
Okay.
So when I create this store, so if you see in the Nextjs document, everything which is related to front end, the users, the users which the users see is going to go inside this store folder. So whatever we see, that is the front end, everything we are going to store inside the store folder. Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, this layout.tsx, I'm going to move to this store folder. Just move. Just try to move your layout.tsx to the store folder. Move to the store.
Okay, now could you repeat what you said about group level syntax? Exactly what it did. It only put the code to the clerk, which is required. Otherwise, it doesn't wait for the clerk, right?
Yes, so what we are simply doing is now in the App Studio, before we created the store folder and we have
Hmm.
moved our layout.tsx, the Sanity Studio is nothing but the backend. Okay,
Okay.
so it has access to our front end as well. So each and every time, if you want to make some changes in the front end, the backend also does knows that there is some change in the UI UX
Okay. Okay.
something. So what we are doing is we are simply separating. Just a minute. What we are doing is we are simply separating the front end and the back end. So why it is closed? Okay, the Sanity should not know like what is happening. So we are not making it dependent with the front end and back end. So that we are creating a folder called store, and the store is nothing but the front end, whatever we see
Okay.
in our eyes. So we are separating it from the Sanity, so that if the Sanity fails, the front end will be appeared. So it doesn't, the front end and back end doesn't depend on each other.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
the functionality fails also, we can see the website and we can show like something is failed or some error, everything. So if the front end and back end depend on each other, so the whole code is depending on each other and they have a common layout.tsx. If something fails in the Sanity also will affect our front end code. So if you develop a full stack application, this usually happens. We will separate the front end and the back end clearly. So in the Next.js, so how to separate the front end and back end is simply by creating a store folder and then putting our layout.tsx inside the store folder.
Okay. Okay.
So when we start developing, so you'll be understanding like why we are doing it like this. So as I said, like this is called the group level syntax. The group level syntax is nothing but separating the front end and the back end. That is the simpler way of explanation. But when we start coding, I will just deep dive and explain with the help of the ClerkProvider, which I have explained before. But simply remember, it is like separation of the front end and back end. That is the separation from the Sanity. Is it clear now?
Yes.
But these concepts will be new for you guys. But just remember, when I think you haven't developed any full stack application, right?
No.
Okay. Whenever you develop a full stack application, so you will separate the front end and back end clearly inside a folder. So, for example, in the front end you are using React, in the back end you are using Express Node.js or something. So, if you see the file configuration, it will be very clear that you'll be having the project name, and inside the project name you will be having a front end folder. Inside the front end folder, all the React code will be there, and you will be having a backend folder. Inside the backend folder, all the backend, the Node, Express, and the database, all those codes will be there. So this is how generally a full stack application will be look like. Was it clear, like why we are?
Yes. Okay, so in Sanity it works completely as full stack. So to separate front end and back end from Sanity, we use group level syntax.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I'll solve my this application issue tomorrow because it is taking very long time to load everything, and I'll try to solve this tomorrow.
No worries, Ketan. And I noted down everything you told us today, but if I miss something, you can
Yeah,
write
I'll
in
try
Slack
to
whatever I
summarize.
missed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll try to summarize from myself as well, so that it
Oh,
will be with a proper explanation and everything.
okay.
So what else we need to do? So now the store is the front end. It has a separate layout. So the studio doesn't have any separate layout. So we'll be creating, so this layout no more depends upon the studio. The studio doesn't depend upon this layout.tsx, which is the thing which we have done with the ClerkProvider and everything. So studio, that is the backend, will have a separate layout for our understanding and for our development, and the front end will have a separate layout. Okay, so for the front end we have a separate layout.tsx. In similar way, we will create a layout.tsx for our backend so that we can see it visually.
Kitna, when I moved on the layout in the store folder, now it
It
is
will
showing
show
me
some error.
some error. Yeah, missing HTML
Missing
and body
required
tags.
HTML tags. Yeah,
Yes, right, right.
because
But for me, it's
because
showing page.tsx doesn't have a root layout.
yeah. So it is like missing required HTML tags, root layout. Everything is similar to that of, like, we don't have the layout.tsx in common.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it happens. So no need to worry, because since we have moved our layout to our separate folder. So we will solve this, but yeah, it will show the error. No
Okay.
need to worry about it. Yes. So we will just create a file inside the studio, the same layout.tsx, and so here we have to include our metadata, everything. Constant metadata. Inside this metadata, so it will be having the title, is it installing title, and some description. Okay, and then export default root layout. And save it as root layout, and then the same what we have in this root layout, we'll be doing that. So I'll be removing this. So we need to include this following code. So we have declared a constant called the metadata, and yeah, we have exported. So this is the common syntax which we use in the layout.tsx. So I think maybe we can remove the read only thing, because we will make changes. So I'll just remove the read only. HTML body, children, everything, these are all common. Yes. Just try to include this lines of code inside this layout.tsx.
Okay.
So I'll just try to make it a single line. It will be more readable. So it is very, very straightforward. So all we are doing is just simply rendering the children, and it is the common layout syntax.
In ClerkProvider, we don't need.
Yeah, because which we have provided here. So the ClerkProvider is simply for the front end. So anything related to the store, that is the front end, all those things, that is the state management front end, everything. We have ClerkProvider to separate from the front end. Like we have created a separate layout for our studio, that is the Sanity Studio. Just we need a separate.
Could you go to the first line, metadata? Just, yeah. Okay, metadata, and then paste the default function. Okay. And for me, it is showing in the return part, the class name G's sense is not defined. Cannot find the name. GEIST sense. And
Okay, it is showing error for you.
yeah. Mm.
So let me
The
run.
code was different for you and for us, Kirtana. As Himani said, for me also it's showing the class name, but your class name is different. Like,
Okay, you removed the class name only. You took entialized, if I spelled correctly.
Yes, maybe we can remove this class name as well.
Okay.
So class name is not essential, right? So it is just for the
Okay.
CSS styling. You can remove the
Okay.
class. That doesn't matter. So we use class name only for the styling and yeah.
Okay. Last name. Okay. Body and inside body, children, then body clothes. Okay. Okay. So why we did this? Only to work separately on front end to
Yeah,
get the
work
layout.
separately
Okay.
on the front end and work separately on the back end. That's it.
Okay.
They don't depend on each other. Yes. Here's my local host. Yeah. So it won't work now because since we have separated both front end and back end, yeah, now it is working.
Mm.
So what we need to do this hello world 1, 2, 3, that is the page.tsx. This studio has a separate page.tsx which we have seen, but there is a common page.tsx. This is called the top level. Okay, as I said, top level is which is the common which is available here. Before the layout was available in the top level. So we will try to move since it is also related to the front end. We'll try to move page.tsx also to the store. So I'll try to move the page.tsx to the store. Okay, right. Okay, before that, let's fix this. Let's go to the page.tsx. So in layout.tsx, there is some issue. Okay, it is showing that module not found global.tsx because before the global dot css was, where was it? Should be somewhere here. Okay, here. So since it is inside the same folder, we have given /global.css. Since we moved this inside the folder, we need to go a folder out. That is one layer out. So
Mm. Two dot.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
I think let's save this. Okay, why is this? Then it is.
No,
Is
I
it
think
work?
only two dot. Only two dot because it is one folder out.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
It's not. For me, it is showing now.
for you, is it working now?
Yes,
Yes.
Kirtana.
Okay, I think for me it is not up. I think for the font, everything, but then this nothing. Okay, yeah. I think we can also get rid of the fonts as well. So we don't need this for now. If we want, we can use our customized font. So let's get rid of this first so that we will concentrate only on the working part. So, okay, it will show now missing root layer.
From where you removed the font, store layout.
Yes, yeah, I just remove the font. That's it. Just to give a understanding, get a understanding.
Okay.
So it's being compiled. So it's still our application is working fine still because when I give the this thing braces, why did I have this studio is not having braces and this is having the bracket? Why it is like because the when we give bracket for the application, if I give something inside the bracket, for our understanding it is inside the folder and it is really inside the folder, but when the application reads it, so when something is given inside the bracket, it doesn't take it in control. So something is given inside the bracket, so it doesn't take it in the control, so it will take it as a root. So it doesn't really take store as a separate folder, but we are separating it. But while working in while the application is running, it doesn't take it as a separate folder. So since we have given it inside the braces, it will just skip the folder and it will simply take it as a localhost 3000. Else here we would have seen like localhost slash store. Since in the studio was running with the slash studio, the same wise it should run with the slash store. But since we have given the store inside the bracket, it doesn't take it as a one more parts, I would say. Is it clear? But I don't, because we don't want our main application to have inside our folder. We just want to have an local host, that is the 3000, the main root application. So we don't want it to display it inside a folder. So I have given the store inside the bracket. Is it clear like why we are giving the bracket?
Mm.
Very
Little
confused.
bit, Ketna, still confused.
Okay, just a minute. I'll just try to. How could I explain that? Okay, maybe I think since you guys are very new, I think I need to come up with some PPT before creating each and everything so that I can explain with the PPT and diagrams, and then let's um work on each and everything. So before explaining this store, the braces concepts, I'll just explain this and then we will do. So how does this works for you guys? Is it okay? I think it will be more
Yeah.
understandable if I,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
what I understood, the studio folder is for backend and store folder for frontend.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So why we are giving braces? Yeah, I think it will be difficult to imagine and understand because you haven't worked with any front end and you haven't
Hmm.
worked with any advanced concepts and everything. So yeah, it's better for me to give an example and then make you to understand so that and then start coding each and every part. Yes. I think that should be fine. I think from tomorrow we will do that pattern. So before, for example, if I'm moving the layout and creating a store, before that I'll explain the concept and I'll
Okay.
explain each and everything, and then we will work on the actual part, and then explanation, and then work on the actual part. So I think that should be fine.
Yes. Yes, Ketna. Perfect.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, from tomorrow I'll create a PPT for each and every step which we are doing,
Hmm.
and I'll try to give a comparison and real world example, and then we'll start coding.
Okay. Okay,
Yes.
Ketna.
I think we can stop till now. So I think yeah, I'll tomorrow I'll again explain this with the PPT and everything why we are
Hmm.
using all this and what is this and that. Yeah, so that it